Welcome everyone to the GGEU tournament, the Get Good European version. I'm your Castle of Fun alongside Beatdown Bull. Captiano, as always, on the production seat. Thank you very much. Beatdown, it's going to be an interesting cast here. We got two teams in front of us, Breaking Amateur versus Dabbing Bots in our game. We did have one earlier, of course, which we just finished, actually, coming into our second game of the day. So I'm looking forward to this one. How are you kind of expecting this to go?
Well, I'm really interested to see how these teams are going to be playing. Like, what kind of strategies are we seeing? Although this is a somewhat of a low elo tournament, it's you know advertised with the tagline "Get Good," and the whole point is teams are learning to they get scrim experience. They're learning actual strategies, how to really play Overwatch as it was meant to be played. So far, like in the last game, we saw a lot of good strategies from these teams, a lot of good team play, and that's why I'm really excited to see it again. And so far throughout all of Jane's GGEU. It's been very interesting to see what these teams where we would consider not as skilled to play some pretty decent level Overwatch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing I would definitely recommend is just for anyone watching, playing the game as a team is one of the best ways, not just to have Overwatch be fun. We've all had stories, in terms of ranked ladder and how that kind of goes, but in just terms of improving yourself in the game, like it's entirely different. As you mentioned, it's kind of a tale of two. It's a tale of two games almost. Overwatch ranked ladder, Overwatch pickup games kind of thing versus Overwatch in a team environment. It's a vastly different experience and one I think that is very enjoyable to watch. We've seen some good gameplay already from these teams. Yeah, we call it low SR, we call it low elo, whatever the case you want to say. But realistically, these players have some skills and they get to show it now because they're playing that team environment, rotations, etc., that just make it a lot more fun to both watch and play. So I'm very, very excited what we've got here in this matchup.
Me as well. Now we have some team comps here. Blue Slayer on this Torb. I don't trust it, but I want to believe in it. You know those. I really want to. No. Well, it is a Lijiang Tower. We're here at the night market. It's very common to run, tank heavy compositions like goats. We're gonna see Blue Slayer make that swap. Blue Slayer, how could you? I trusted you. But the difference being here is that Dabbing bots are gonna play that Robin on the Sombra, so they're still looking for a lot of utility off of this hack. Maybe hack the Reinhardt, make it a lot easier for the team to just get some free damage onto them. That's Robin already making his way to the backline here. Gonna take down John Dowson.
Yeah, coming right in. The Sombra going to get that hack off. It's going to get the assist on Blue Slayer. We got the Bionade plus the Shield Bash going all the way in. So both teams now, it is actually going to be sort of soft reset. That front line no longer available. And Dabbing Bot's going to have to retreat temporarily coming in to beat down. But that was a really aggressive first fight as they come set up. It's going to be a slow engage here as the Ryans posture at each other. Really, quiet fight as they're getting set.
Oh, that Robin's been playing pretty well so far, knowing exactly when he needs to jump into there. John Dowson, who was on the Widowmaker before, got hit with the Fire Strike. He knew it was his moment to just take him out, and now John Dowson wants more frontline pressure, is playing the McCree, probably trying to make use of the flashbang.
Yeah, now both Ryans posturing away. It's going to be Humblebee swinging in front. It's a lot of damage. Fire Strike not going to find a kill. The deflect is there in time, but it is going to be enough as the Bionade Tariel coming in really aggressively. Both tanks taken down really low. But as the purple, as it's called, wears off, it's going to be the Shield Bash not knocking down. But right now, Dabbingbots are taking full control of the fact that they've got better positioning right now. As Breaking Amateur slowly, they're playing really scared almost here, Beatdown. As trying to get that grab in, it's going to be captured 4. Earthshadow right back, no follow through. Damage not able to fall in. John's down off that Earthshadow. The Dragonblade getting committed as well. Dashing in the backline, picks up 1. Can he find the second on the break? Does do so with some assist from his team. Dashes out, and that will be the point finally captured here for Breaking Amateur. They do expend a lot though, Beatdown, in that fight, and they have now a pretty decent amount of time.
Dabbing bots, although they lost the point, 65%, they have 5 ults, and they're soon to be building up another one as well. How yes, no, really close to get another Graviton surge, 60% after just using it. They're going to armor up, and they're going to get right into this next fight.
Speaking of that, EMP comes out, Earthshadow right back, Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt. The Fire Strike's going to find 2, and that will actually be more than enough. No abilities available. The EMP cleaning house, and then of course just the knockdown from that Earthshatter. It's going to be a clean team wipe, and a really cleanly executed fight there from Dabbing Bots.
cleanly executed without a doubt, but my question is the overcommitment here. Maybe one or two too many ults here. They didn't really need to use all of it, but they're still looking okay for this forward hold that they're doing. How Yes No has another grab, another chance to actually get some real progress with it. However, Never Give Up has one as well, so keep an eye out.
Nano Boost going to be committed on the Ryan. The sound barrier there to keep the team alive inside that Graviton Surge. Blue Slayer walking forward, picks up the 2K, continues his reign of terror. The hammer swinging away. They're going to commit the grab on top of that, but that should be enough. Overtime in progress. There's a lot of great healing coming out now from Tired Eyes as he continues to keep his team alive. The sleep dart out right after that. The knockoff of Matt not quite available, but John not going down these. This is a fight that is ever so slowly going to continue to go back in favor of Dabbing Bots as they continue. The rally committed, as is the sound barrier here. And a slow fight slowly being brought up with the Graviton Surge available. Dabbing Bots gonna hack the Dragon Blade. The kill isn't available. Overtime will tick away. And a much cleaner first round from Dabbing Bots compared to Breaking Amateur. They go up 1-0 here on Lijiang Tower.
Breaking Amateur so far, a little bit of a struggle here. A, with how they want to use their ultimates, and two, pretty much the team coordination right there, because they had the opportunity to flip the point there at the end. They had the man advantage, they had the ability cooldown advantage, but they were a little scrambled, not really sure who they wanted to focus on, who they wanted to take down. Because of that, you know, the IT Idviden came back with the sound barrier, managed to give his team enough sustain to actually bring it back around. Had they been more decisive with their team fight, Breaking Amateur could have taken that one.
They absolutely could have, for sure, but just again, committal of ultimates has been sort of the name of the game so far, and it's going to be a team comp very interesting here from Breaking Amateurs. They continue the Farah Sombra, something that hasn't been seen as of late, realistically. Both teams playing through that server room, trying to posture up, see who's going to bite first in that positioning advantage, and it's going to be the Farah taking down the spam damage on high. And though the first kill does go to Dabbing Bots, they're going to start to slowly bring their advantage up as the sleep dart comes in. There's no bubble, of course, as it had already been used, but right now that Reaper in the back line doesn't get any sort of value. The first cap, though, to Dabbing Bots. The Rhine charge, nice Maywall. That will be the fight pretty much over as off two slow picks. Breaking Amateurs have a better understanding of positioning, I think, on this particular point.
Yeah, Dabbing Bots, really good play so far on this May. Curryman really getting the value, and now it's going to be really difficult for Breaking Amateur to get through this chokehold here because they run the risk of getting walled off. They need to get either a pick or some kind of early damage here. We're going to see Golden go for this bit of a flank here, probably try to get some damage through this doorway, kind of take Curryman's attention off.
Your Shatter doesn't find much. The bubble is there in time to keep them alive, but the Bionade comes in right after that, and it's going to find no kills as the Nano Boost is committed onto the Zarya, but she's locked in a corner with the Maywall. And that fight, though it looked promising at the start, may still end up going... Yeah, no, it's going to pretty much stagger out, never give up. Likely going to have to back out here. They do have the Graviton Surge, and the spawns are coming back, so they might try and make a fight of this. Is Zarya taking down? Yes, how, yes, no. Out of the fight, so this point will tick over eventually, as it's going to be a soft reset right now from Dabbing Bots. But that was a really messy fight beatdown as Blue Slayer kind of a little questionable of a charge there, I think is probably the fairest way to put that.
Yeah, without a doubt, and now no main tank for Breaking Amateur, so this point capture is very likely going to be sweet-lived. Still, John Dowson on the Sombra, about to have EMP. Golden has the Rocket Barrage, so there is still a good chance they can hold this without their main tank.
Being said, they're being zoned out. No EMP available. John Dowson gets taken away. And the Graviton Surge are committed. It's only one in that grab, however. And in the other one, the Sound Barrier will keep them alive. So a great turnaround count. The only one trying to stagger out on points to keep it alive, as the point did get flipped in the middle of all of those shenanigans. And now, again, the point goes back to Dabbing Bots.
Good Sound Barrier from Dabbing Bots. The perfect timing here, as just in response to Golden's Rocket Barrage. Although they did lose one, the sustain was enough for them to even out with these picks here. John Dowson now positioning himself for this EMP, waiting for Steam to be ready here. Just invisible in the back. No one from Dabbing Bots can see him, but they need to get themselves set up right now because it's one-fight territory.
That EMP is absolutely massive, but the follow-up isn't there. The Sound Barrier will be committed. They do get Humble beat down. The Earth Shadow right back after it. No front line available, as Blue Slayer does get a 4K off the Earth Shatter. Well, his team will assist him with it. The May Blizzard not going to find any value but it is in overtime, so they do have that last fight territory. And right now, for Davenport's, they're okay with that. You committed 2 ultimates, and you know they don't have a whole lot left in the bank for this next retake.
Yeah, if you're Curryman, or even the rest of Diving Bots, you're probably feeling fine. Curryman kind of wanted to go for a bit of a Hail Mary there. It would be a cool story to tell if it worked out. Unfortunately, it didn't. Humblebee still here, looking for the big shatter, the round-ending shatter, and that Robin also could have a lot of work done here with the Death Blossom.
Blue Slayer, though, does get the Fire Strike off, and they're going to commit the Nano Boost. It picks up 2. Blue Slayer already working up to that Earthshot. A great Fire Strike just to clean up, and they will hold for the moment. Excellent use of the Nano Boost there. And a clean fight win as Golden comes in with the knockoff. As Never Give Up switched to the Diva. As, they are going to slowly continue their hold. John Dowson did go down in the middle of that fight, so there is an opportunity here for them to get set here. Shoulder charge. No kills that. Oh, the Maywalk finds the block, but another Earthshatter comes in right after the death to the Reinhardt, and that's going to be the cleanup there. So a great, another hold there. We are now actually just full last fight territory on this point.
It doesn't even seem like anyone from Dabbing Bots is going to make it here. 7 seconds to go, and How Yes No is the only one through the spawn here. It's going to get completely bursted down.
That's a great eat there. The Lucio not even does get to the point just in the nick of time, actually. Sound Barrier, though, keeps the front line up, and even though he did touch, everyone goes down. That's going to be ITV getting taken out at the very last. Overtime will tick away, and we are all tied up here on Lijiang Tower, headed to Gardens.
That EMP is so strong. To come out at the end there was a death sentence for Dabbing Bots. They seem to really struggle suddenly with their comp towards the end there. Couldn't quite get the best Mei walls out of there, and because of that, they kept losing people in the beginnings of every fight, and before you know it, 0% turned into 99, and with the last second touch, getting hit by the EMP, all your ultimates are basically moot. So now, we're here on Garden. We're going to see some slightly different comp here from Breaking Amateur. They're going to go for this Widow Farah dive composition. John Dowson going to probably try and stay in the back, take whatever good sight lines he can, and Golden is going to be the front liner here, taking... I'm mistaken. John Dowson's going to stick with the Sombra. Has been good for the team so far, and probably a better combination to deal with the tanky comp that we're seeing here from Dabbing Bots.
They are going to slowly posture up through White Room, and meanwhile, it's going to be the Breaking Amateur taking away the sort of lobby area in this middle part. Now they're taking point control, of course. Yeah. A slow read. Again, this tank comp is waiting for the point to unlock so they can fight on point. And timer unlocks, so they're going to walk right in, swing away. They take down the first kill, though. It's even trade so far. Humblebee going down to John Dowson yet again. You mentioned that Sombra, the hack coming in so valuable, but with a brilliant Bionade, it's actually going to be a couple of trades going back and forth. If Golden can stay alive and continue to rain damage, this might actually be able to be a winnable fight for them. Golden picks up yet another kill, but taken away by How Yes No. The tanky comp just a little too strong in the end. But with the respawns coming through, the fight continues to go on here, Beatdown. As Curryman comes in with the Brigitte, smashing away a couple of kills. The D-Mac yet again, and with that, even though Humblebee does go down, it will likely be the first point captured here by Dabbing Bots after an elongated team fight there after the point unlocked.
Golden flying a little bit too high there, but redeems himself with this kill onto How Yes No. This is Breaking Amateur's chance to get in there. Golden, though, if he wants to avoid a mishap like in the last fight, needs to stay a little bit higher and out of range of the rest of the team.
Huge Earthshatter comes in, it picks up 1. The Nano Boost is going to be committed, as is the Barrage. Golden gets 1 kill, but it may not be enough as the Sleep Dart comes through. Blaze Slayer somehow doesn't die. The Nano Boost providing so much value, and excellent heals yet again from Teriel. They're going to commit the Primal Rage. He picks up on 1 kill, trying to find Tired Eyes here, but it is going to be enough. The point will finally tick over. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the ultimates that were used, if they're going to be able to continue this fight in the next one.
Yeah, it is going to be a little tough here, but Breaking Amateur still have EMP. So powerful, shut down all the ults from Dabbing Bots, can buy them at least some time to build up another one, or at least that would have been the idea. John Dowson going down is really bad. That Robin has the EMP, so we could see that going in.
Yeah, that EMP doesn't actually need to be used in this fight, as that will be a hack onto Golden, I believe, and he falls into the pit. Meanwhile, on the point, all sorts of cleanup as... Oh, the poor staggered Mercy. That's you hate to see it. Count gets out with 1 HP, and it is actually going to be a team comp change up here from from Breaking Amateur. They are going to go that tank line, Blue Slayer versus and Never Give Up, switching the Ryan Zarya. And
Well,
Golden going to continue with the Pharah.
probably a good idea. They, when you're facing against an enemy Ryan, it's free shatters all day if you're not playing a Ryan yourself, so you have to be a lot more careful, and they're just not up for it.
That EMP captures, I think, 4, as they're slowly getting the follow-up. They do get how, yes, no, but another counter EMP means that the Earthshatter is going to find a final blow, and they're going to get the cleanup as well. And that's going to be a fight pretty much over. EMP that came out second, actually more efficient, as it captures more targets in a more awkward position. That Robin with just a better timing on his ultimate beatdown. This fight now, it's in a bit of an awkward territory for Breaking Amateur.
A little bit, and in that last fight, they committed such a powerful ultimate, but the lack of follow-up was a problem here. They had the rocket barrage, they could have used it, but bright side means they can use it. Now, it does have to go very big, though, and they need to deal with this grab.
That Graviton Surge is going to capture 3, but it doesn't matter because no follow-up damage. The Nano Boost on the Pharah picks up a double kill, picks up a triple kill, and the cleanup's going to come in right after that. As Breaking Amateur slowly turning their fight back in their favor. As it's just supports and the Zarya left alive, and not for very much longer either. As they do get the cleanup kills, they do commit, however, nearly everything they have. And Breaking Amateur now, they have a lot to work against, as it is, again, that final fight for Dabbing Bots.
Breaking Amateur did capture the point here at the end, but it is a steep hill to climb. They have the Earth Shatter, luckily. They have the Valk. They're not in the worst position, but they need to, their ult economy has to be perfect because Dabbing Bots already have 2. They're about to build up to a 3rd ult here, so it's going to be difficult.
Earth Shatter committed yet again. It finds 4. The cleanup, the Fire Strike is there, and that's an excellent time. And Blue Slayer just sees his opportunity and shatters his way through, walking past that Rhine Shield. And it's a clean kill for Breaking Amateur. Only the Sombra gets away. And that Robin now playing a little bit. They have the ultimate to work out. Again, they did get that Earth Shatter away, and again have ultimate economy.
Yeah, but now Breaking Amateur, bit of a deficit here in terms of ult and Blue Slayer. We're looking at him now. He has to avoid getting hacked because Humblebee is about to come for the Shatter. He needs to block it at all costs because if we see a fat Shatter like we did last fight, that's probably going to be it for Breaking Amateur.
Speaking of Breaking Amateur, they do lose their Sombra very early on. The rally gets taken out, actually, as there's the charge through. Blue Slayer gets that nap down as the Earth Shatter comes in from Humblebee. Nano Boost committed onto Zarya here. The EMP is available. Graviton Surge committed. Is the follow through there, though? The hack comes in on Humblebee. Humblebee taken out. And now an EMP committed. Doesn't catch anyone. Doesn't look like it did. The Resurrect, however, finds Blue Slayer yet again with the DMAC onto the D.Va. This likely spells the end. As Breaking Amateur slowly starting to. It's just the swinging away. There is no follow through on that EMP. That Robin, the only one left alive, taken out at the last. And with that, only the stall from Lucio can. The run even doesn't look like it, and that will be Breaking Amateur taking map number 1, 2-1.
Good denial of the Earth Shatter from Humblebee for Breaking Amateur. That was the big win condition for them to, continue holding that point. Because of that and the fact that during that last fight, they got the EMP first. I think it did manage to grab the D.Va, so there was no damage mitigation to be had there with the defense matrix, and that was more than enough for Breaking Amateur to just completely start to take over that fight. And at that point, there was nothing Dabbing Bots could have done. They were coming back at the point 1 at a time, and there was no way they really could have dealt with it.
They absolutely couldn't have. And I think in Breaking Amateur's favor, they do a great job understanding what they have a better positioning advantage, and they even lost players twice first in the final, right? And even so, managed to come out on top in the victory. So they understand their ultimate coordination a little bit better, I think, as again, Breaking Amateur. Just I think the first map maybe not their strength a little bit. Maybe take them a little bit of time to warm up, but definitely showing their stuff on the second and third.
It's likely that maybe the next map will be a better fit for them depending on the map type. Still, it is a close series so far because although it is 1-0, we did get pushed to the third map, 99-99. So these teams are probably looking to make this a neck and neck series.
I mean, yeah, and those are the best ones to watch. Obviously, it's a really close game, and I think one of the things I want to go back to is just the difference between point 1 and point 2. Point 1 was, of course, Night Market. Point 2 was the indoor map of Control Center.
Yep.
We saw basically a different Breaking Amateur on those two points.
True. In the beginning, Breaking Amateur lost the night market, if I'm remembering correctly. There, they had a bit of a struggle, couldn't quite figure the comps out, and lacking a lot of focus fire. But I think on the control center, they managed to not only shut down the May Reaper we were seeing from dabbing bots, but just managing to come back at the end there with some really good swaps. I think was the key contributor to going to that last map and taking that one as well there on the Garden.
For sure. I mean, but with that, that is actually Lijiang Tower in the books. So they does go to Breaking Amateur. We're headed to our next map. It will be Junkertown, the pure escort affair. Junkertown's a bit of an interesting one. Beatdown, tell me a little bit about what we kind of expect to see on Junkertown. A strange map in its setup.
Strange is definitely the word for it. The birth of the double sniper, the birth of the protect the president combination. I mean, either comp you could end up seeing here. Very common to run Orisa Diva defense. That's a lot of what I'm expecting here. You know, holding up in that initial high ground. We're going to see some sniper characters point A. I have no doubt in my mind because, you know, the sight lines are too long there for you to not take advantage. It's almost too easy to make use of. So as long as it really just depends on who on either team can play these characters to the level that is required of them.
One of the great things, I mean, that's the thing about Junkertown, right? The sight lines, as you mentioned, just so vast that you basically set up a crossfire at any point at both your snipers have good sight lines that you can't defend against both, and they get an easy shots off. It's always fun to see. For us, perhaps, not necessarily if you're on the receiving end of those bullets. Setting up now, Junkertown. Tell me about what we're seeing right now.
Well, although it is a little too early to say, we're seeing the Rhine Diva actually here from Breaking Amateur. So maybe not quite gonna see that Orisa defense. I guess Rhine is a lot more flexible in terms of repositioning. You know, it's a lot easier for a Reinhardt to actually, you know, if okay, this is a bad position, it's a lot easier to rotate. So there is a lot of value to be found there. Junkrat makes sense. There are some small areas. If enemies like to go through those small rooms, you can get a lot of that damage off. The Riptire being a very strong ultimate as well. Definitely not a bad pick. John Dowson, of course. Widowmaker, gonna make full advantage. He is not sorry about it at all. He's actually looking on this top right area by the silo. He wants to get an early pick straight out of the spawn.
I mean, playing that aggressively is it can pay dividends, especially if the team's not expecting it. It's also a pretty safe one, unless you've got a Widowmaker deliberately searching for you. You're actually going to get out more often than not. That grapple is always on cooldown, so it's gonna be interesting. Can he get that first blow off? Doesn't quite reveal himself yet. Looking for that perfect shot, and doesn't find it. Finds the back of the Bastion, but the healing is there. They still have to protect the President on the high ground as they slowly move the cart forward. Finally gets a pick off, and that's going to be the catalyst to let them move forward. John Dowson just picking headshot after head. That shield falls down, and they are going to have to give that strategy up for now, I think. John Dowson, very impressive. Look at the ult charge differential across the board. John Dowson already has Infrasight.
Oh, don't even blame him. 3 opening kills. You know, it picked onto the honor of the base support was already more than enough, but nope, he wanted more. He has the walls up, so we're probably going to see it here. Dabbing Bot's going to stick with this Bastion composition, and they're sticking with the Symmetric too. Maybe they're going to try to reposition constantly, kind of keep Breaking Amateur on their toes. You know, it is really difficult to deal with a Bastion when, you know, he's suddenly to your side, mowing you down in sentry mode.
The only issue here is Tired Eyes doesn't actually have a great line of sight on pretty much anyone. They're going to try and move forward onto John Dowson. Teleport is available. No one really walking through. Tired Eyes does get picked up. He goes through, doesn't actually die somehow. And then with that Robin's teleported going down, Tired Eyes gets caught out in no man's land. And unfortunately now, this is a really awkward place for this payload to be stuck in. They can't actually get the Bastion back on the point, so they're going to switch off here and try and reset.
Well, the worst part about it is that Robin had the teleporter in a good place. The thing is, Tired Eyes is the only one who went through it. Had they all gone, that might have been the surprise, you know, surprise Bastion that they were looking for. But instead, they're going to make some swaps here. 2-minute shave off the clock, so they still have time to build some ults. That Robin here on the Savar really needs some good backs.
Oh, Blue Slayer just swinging away, though they do get John Dowson. It's not going to be enough. And the hack on Never Give Up means that this DMAC could be a possibility, but yep, there it does go, in fact, as they do get the Never Give Up in that DMAC. And that's going to be helpful for the next. Again, the attackers have better spawn advantage now coming through. And right now, this has been a show of the Anas. The Anas have done a great job of hitting those bio-nades, and I think the Divas need to do a little bit better of a job beatdown in eating them up.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of Divas, we're going to see this Diva Bomb come out, but it's not going to find anything. However, Tariel is going to go down. Yeah,
that Tariel's going to get him, but Blue Sailor comes right back in. The Transcendence keeping him up, does get the Fire Strike still off. They're going to bring the rally. Tired Eye, somehow the hit scan pressure on John Dow's and the Earth Shatter. He's massive. He captures 3 as the kill follow through there. They do get the DMAC. Is that going to be enough? Doesn't look like it might be. Slowly forcing Humblebee with that nano boost back. The self-destruct, of course, from Never Give Up. But there is no real healing coming through. Never Give Up going to be DMAC yet again. Tariel unable to really keep that tank line up. And Blue Slayer now one of the only ones left alive. The front line does go down, and this is gonna be a reset now, I think, from Breaking Amateur.
You were talking about good on a play here, and I gotta say, stellar play so far from Tired Eyes, managing to keep this whole team alive through the wake of the onslaught from Breaking Amateur. You know, Breaking Amateur needed to get Humblebee out of the way here if they were actually going to continue this hold, but that was not going to work out for them. But still, Tired Eyes is going to go down. This might be Breaking Amateur's chance to, you know, restabilize themselves.
I mean, that first kill from Count is actually going to be massive for that. The Zen taking that final blowout is going to be huge. They're going to get this first contest in early. The Shield Bash comes in. No commit on the Earth Shatter as the EMP comes through. Riptire, Earth Shatter right behind it. As Blue Slayer kinds one though, they're trying to trade the kills back and forth. Hack on the Nano Boost, rather, the Hack not finding value. The Earth Shatter committed, but no healing available. They do get the kill, and with that, a couple of ultimates actually kind of wasted by the defense. They don't get value for it. And Curryman, you know, walk all the way forward. They're going to actually invest in this fight beatdown, as they're not getting a whole lot of value, though.
Not really. Golden, unfortunately, losing his Riptire to the EMP. That was their biggest chance to stabilize here. Though John Dowson on this Spara doesn't really have much contestation. No hit scan here from Dabbing Boss, and already seeing so much value. Humblebee's going down, but the Diva Bomb is coming out.
John Dowson tried to commit on the kill for Howie, that's no, but ends up just giving his life away. As slowly the cart pressure goes back in, ITVDN uses that sound barrier. They do get the DMAC as a result, and with that, they continue to move forward, chasing down that Pilot Diva, but it is just going to be all but the end. Golden trying to get away. Slowly, nah, he's gonna be taken down there. Howie, yes, no, chasing that final one down, and this will be the point captured by Dabbing Bots. A very clean second point, actually, from Dabbing Bots. Breaking Amateur, inconsistent use of their ultimates, I think, is possibly the fairest way of putting it.
I gotta agree with you here, and especially Golden really wants to reconsider this Junkrat here. I think there are better DPS you could be playing, especially now that you have the Reaper. Reaper Junkrat is an awkward combination. Golden might just be trying to hold on to the Riptire here. Definitely some value to be found as long as it doesn't get erased again. But that Robin does have yet another EMP, so he might be there camping the backline for that exact reason.
Sound barrier, or sorry, self-destruct going to be committed, as is the Nano Boost. Self-destruct fine enough, his shield is there, but it does stall out that Nano Boost. Of course, the Ryan finds no value with it. Humblebee taken very, very low, and that Robin dismantled before he can get the EMP out. Riptire taken away, and with that taken down, it's going to be a soft reset here for Dabbing Bots as Breaking Amateur walk forward. As slowly, they're stabilizing here a little bit beat down, and they don't actually have to commit too much to that fight, even so.
Yeah, luckily, all they really had to lose was the bomb and the Riptire. But again, Riptire getting shut down. Again, might want to reconsider this Junkrat rather. But still, Breaking Amateur in a pretty good place here. That Robin right above here looking for this EMP. His team's ready to go. They're armored up. They're just looking for some targets.
The EMP finds the Zen, finds the Reinhardt. The Earthshatter's committed. They're going to find the 3 kills off of it. Trap though, before he can get in, Golden gets nano boosted. They're going to stall out a little bit. John Dowson out of Wraith form into death. I guess that's a, sort of a one way into another. And slowly, the cart moves ever forward.
And now, they're just making their way to the end here. Tired Eye still has the nano boost. Can definitely nano Humblebee and build his way to yet another Earthshatter here. But
speaking of Earthshatter, They do commit it onto Humblebee. The Nano Boost is going to there to keep him alive, but the Riptire comes in right back after, finds 2 kills, and with 60 seconds remaining, this is the kind of cleanup fight that you absolutely need here on third point of Junkertown, cleaning all the way through. Blue Slayer, the only one going down that fight, actually, but a great Earth Shatter, and already up to 60% for himself.
Humblebee, a little too overzealous there, ended up not blocking the Shatter, not even close, but managed to survive long enough to get pretty close to building an Earth Shatter of his own. But look at Blue Slayer, just shattered, 60% to another. He's probably going to have it at this rate in this last fight. I think the real key thing here on this attack, if you're dabbing bots, you need to build up that EMP as quickly as you can, and you need to make use of it, because you need one clean fight here if you want to win this. Staggering is not going to work.
John Dowson has that Death Blossom. They're going to commit it. Self-destructing over the top, finds nothing. And they're actually going to dump a bunch of ultimates are the defense. The Earth Shatter, though, finds the remaining backline, and that could be it. As they get the final cleanup kills here, beatdown. They're looking to touch cart, but again, how yes, no, slowly getting in. Count gets the Bionate off, gets a kill in, but gets taken out for himself. Just the D.Va on cart as Humblebee comes in, needs to hit that Earth Shatter, finds the 2 on cart. Is there any follow through? They do have the Hamster coming back in, slow stall out on point, but the Nano Boost likely going to be enough. Blue Slayer swinging away, the sleep slowly canceled out right after, and Blue Slayer swinging away. The cleave is there, and this is going to be a hold now for Breaking Amateur as they dump a bunch of ultimates in and somehow getting no value out of them. That massive shatter from Blue Slayer is more than enough to keep them all the way.
Yeah, you know, I think the real problem here for Breaking Amateur was the DPS composition that they were going for. Throughout this entire map, they had a bit of struggle here besides the Widowmaker. I kind of wish they just stuck to that, because John Dowson on this Widow is a sight. However, I understand the need to swap, you know, throughout the rest of the map, but now my problem kind of lies in the fact that, you know, they went for this Reaper Junkrat, and I didn't really see like the use of it. It seemed like there was a lot of struggle here.
For sure, I fully agree with you. I think one of the strangest things, the thing about Reaper Junkrat is it has a theoretical lot of break, a lot of spam damage, a lot of just high burst. Unfortunately, they just never, it's a close range comp, and they just never got in to really use it. And it's always tough to aggress. Keep in mind, it's certainly a strange choice. But that being said, they do get most of the way through the map. That 2 points and some change, getting that cart nearly to the end. And it's I think they'll have to be content with it if their defense is even somewhat better than that.
Yep, fair enough. And dabbing bots now on this defense. Again, no Orisa on the defense. Just the Rhine D.Va. You still, honestly, there's really no replacement for that D.Va in defensive comps like these. The damage mitigation is so strong here with the defense matrix. And now they're keeping that Robin onto the Sombra. He has been finding some good value hacks, some good value EMPs. I think if Dabbing Bots wants to really hold here, they have to take advantage. Seems like they're expecting the Bastion from Breaking Amateur, so they are positioning themselves accordingly.
Yeah, playing inside this little room here, the Sombra on the flank, finding information. They're gonna wait for the payload to come around their corner and then all engage at once. The hack comes in, and that's the call to go. They all swing in right on the point. Blue Slayer, the Golden gets taken out. Talk about focus fire. Humblebee swinging away. The Pharah still fighting damage in the back line, though. Blue Slayer being slept means no shield available. The tank line for Dabbing Bots doing a great job of just providing a lot of space for their team. And if How Yes No can stay in mech and they can keep their Brig alive, this is going to be very, very good here for the defense. Humblebee prevents that res on top of it. Excellent gameplay now from Dabbing Bots as they slowly get in. They do lose the mech, though. And the question is, can this Bastion comp continue to set up on payload?
He probably has a good chance to set up now because Dabbing Bots have, you know, given him the opportunity. The problem, what they should have been doing was focusing on keeping him off the payload. Because once the Bastion's off, it is a struggle to keep him on. But now they lose How Yes No, so they're going into this fight half-cocked.
They do get the hack off, but the cleanup isn't there as the barrage comes in over the top. John Dowson, an excellent job just providing that pressure from the damage. And a really, really aggressive gameplay now. You know, John Dowson has been sort of a breakout on this particular map. The Widowmaker first, and then of course now on the Pharah has been particularly of importance in Breaking Amateur's holds.
Absolutely, and now that Robin here, kind of sneaking around the side, hopefully giving Dabbing Bots a chance to try again if he can get the hack on the Golden. And he does, so now he can no longer get into sentry mode. This is their time.
Tired Eyes getting taken out. John Dowson in the air. The EMP committed. It's going to find 4. Self-destruct over the... That's not even really necessary. It's just the final touches on the cleanup. And never give up. The only one left. And I think Counter His Name just takes a little break. They're going to reset here and try and find another attack angle. Golden now on the Hanzo as Blue Slayer switches to the Reinhardt. So compositional switches. And they're going to try and, again, this is some good in-the-corner gameplay now from Dab and Bots.
And now, Breaking Amateur here on this Hanzo, probably looking for some kind of combination. So, you know, the late swap on the Hanzo doesn't guarantee he'll get the ult as long as never give up weight. That's a really powerful combo in their mid. But wow, the immediate shutdown to the Port Barrage.
The immediate shutdown, but the damage has already been done as the offense finds its value. The grab is going to be committed, as is the Dragon Strike. Unnecessary, but it provides some nice fireworks as the cleanup on cart continues. They're going to capture point 1 and beat down. A messy fight, but a fight that it basically confirms point A.
And Golden just flexing a little bit, just wants to show, hey, look how quick I can charge my dragon. Because, I mean, when I said he was at 40%, and when he got it was not more than like 10 to 15 seconds. So chances are he can build yet another one, but never give up, abandoning the Zarya, wants to play this D.Va instead, probably to make some use of the high ground. See that Robin here poking around a little bit, trying to get some key hacks once again. And yeah, now we're going to see the sound barrier.
They're going to commit the sound barrier, they're going to rush in right after it, they're going to find 2 kills with it. That make it 3 actually, some excellent, that's just pure aggression there from the defense. A great sound barrier off, the hack is going to clean up count, and another hold there. So that is just as team coordination to a T. Picture perfect engagement there from Dab and Bots.
The best part is they only use a sound barrier. They still have 2 ults in the bag. They're about to come up to 3 more. You know, if you're Dab and Bots, you're feeling pretty good right now, especially if they time it right. That Robin is going to get the EMP very soon, and that could lead to a big Earth Shatter combo.
Yeah, so that sound barrier, sorry, that Sonic reveals everyone up top. That gives John Dowsey the opportunity to come in with the barrage. They're going to commit the Valkyrie on, and the sneaky play, not so sneaky when you do it 4 times in a row, as Dab and Bots gets red, and they get cleaned up. It's only that Robin left alive. He's going to continue scouting the Sombra in infinite invisibility as they continue to move forward here, beat down. But again, that's a clean engage. They only use 2 ultimates themselves, and they have some more to work with coming through.
Yep, both teams definitely a good position to to have a good fight. Though that Robin here ready to shut down whatever break you mentioned has.
That Dragon Strike was eaten. Golden comes in, never give up, doing a great job of cleaning through. Self-destruct, not going to find anything. Was forced out as they commit the rally and the EMP. That Robin trying to find, some more kills in the back line. A great Bionade. And never give up. Going to get the self-destruct off as the Nano Boost is committed here on Humblebee on point. And that's going to be them, Humblebee just swinging away. As Tyrael, the only one left alive, is going to try and get out with his life, but the speed boost, the whole team collapsing on the poor Ana. And Lucio, not quite fine. Oh, does get it actually in the end. How Yes No from afar with the pilot, gets the kill.
That is a brutal stagger right now. Still, now we're down to 1 minute here for Breaking Amateurs to get through this next point. Golden gonna swap to this Genji. Now, they're going for this Genji Pharah, although no dive comp, so interesting duel with the tanks that you have. There's still some follow-up and damage mitigation from the D.Va, so it could still work out, especially with the ults that are in the bank right now. You know, Dabbing Bots overcommitted a little bit in that last fight. Now they only have this Earth Shatter.
They only have the Earth Shatter. The Earth Shatter committed. Humblebee taken out right away, though, as the barrage comes in. Extreme amount of damage. And though John Dowson gets taken out, it's not going to be enough to stop. They are going to get the kills. How Yes No being taken out of mech. As that Robin, the only one left afar, tries to get out, but it likely will not be enough. They are going to get, with that 25 seconds remain, this point captured, and on to point 3. This map's not over.
It's pretty rough here if you're Bumblebee, or Humblebee rather. You needed the Earth Shatter to land. Unfortunately, all that value was nullified. So now they didn't really have much else to work with. That Robin this time around is going to come up to the EMP. So Dabbing Bots once again have the opportunity to stabilize themselves here. But look at Golden. He's getting pretty close to this Dragon Blade. We're probably going to see a Nano Blade here from Breaking Amateur.
that could be their win condition here, but with Count being taken down from Brigitte of all players, is going to commit this engage. The Dragon Blade, the Nano Boost is there, but they have to hide from the self-destruct. Golden doesn't have any real chance of getting a kill, finds only one. Is there even anything to come back in? Self-destruct from Never Give Up on cart, finds one. And they're going to push the cart forward, but man, do they have to use a lot for that.
Now they only have this Earth Shatter. John Dowson's soon to come up with the Rocket Barrage, actually. But the problem here is that, Robin, you know, you're such a short time frame. The EMP, such a strong ultimate, gonna shut down all their abilities. If that goes off, if this fight is clean enough, it's gonna be really hard for Breaking Amateurs to get themselves back up in here. So they need to deal with it here and now.
The Earth Shatter comes in. There's the final blow. Humblebee just walks up and gets lost. The barrage not finding value as this EMP is going to be committed. Nano Boost on how? Yes, no. They're trying to play out for last here. They need to find the kills as Blue Slayer will go down. As Greyman kind of caught out in no man's territory, does get the Bionade. No kills yet, though. Golden, last one on cart, gets taken away. The Valkyrie not able to keep him up. And it's going to be a reset here. 10 seconds remaining. Can they even get back to cart? It's going to have to get to Count of all people. The Mercy to touch.
Probably, they don't even see him. He's just up top, and he's going for that overtime.
He does get the contest. Overtime is available. Can anyone touch the card again? The hack prevents it. The shield bash. Oh, and Dapping Bots with the cleanup. And they take map number 2. And man, that was down to the wire. Both teams that play that last fight. As we're going to see the play of the game here. This series has been neck and neck here, Beatdown.
Yeah, already even scoreboard here at 1-1. This map 5 game seems more and more likely as time goes on. And I think the worst part of that last fight here, if you're Breaking Amateur, they had about a minute left. They took too long to lose that first fight. Basically, yeah, they got the EMP out. That's fine. They got a lot of key ultimates out of Dapping Bots. But the problem is they weren't able to actually lose fast enough that they could get a proper team fight in the end. It was 5 seconds, and like you said in the moment, Count was the one who had to contest, your main support. So obviously went down immediately. So because of that, in overtime, you're all coming to point at the very last second, and there's no way you can actually turn that kind of thing around, especially if you're getting CC'd hard by the Reinhardt.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. One thing I was kind of interested, actually, just to keep touching on sort of the strategy of the map, is that we saw those static tanks a lot, actually. We saw the Orisa, we saw the Reinhardt, we saw the Zarya. No dive, actually, from... realistically, these teams have kind of not run dive in general. Is that something you kind of expect to see, or are you sort of surprised to see the prevalence of these static tanks?
At the moment, no, because we're in a map... Well, although dive can be played quite effectively on certain parts of Lijiang Tower, because of the prevalence of, you know, static tanks and tank heavy comps in both Junkertown and Lijiang, I'm not too surprised just yet. But should we go to another, you know, like a Numbani or some kind of map where, you know, it makes a lot of sense to play dive and then we don't see it, then I'm going to start asking some questions.
I think one of the interesting things, this goes about just in general for Europe, the European region, is they do love their, you know, sort of their Reinhardt, which I can't blame them. Reinhardt's a fun hero to watch, but it is surprising to me, I think, a little bit, especially on that second point, not to see even a shred of Winston. We're seeing a lot of Ryan. The D.Va is kind of expected. D.Va has a prodigious pick rate, something that I think if we look back at World Cup that just happened, she had something like a 98% pick rate, which is S plus tier. It's almost certainly you rarely see that in a hero. So D.Va very, very prevalent. So I'm not surprised to see her at all. And these teams have been making it work. We are, of course, now on our third map of the series, and that will be Assault. So we are going to be going to Hanamura. And this map here, we talked about tanks in the first two. Boy, is this one going to be more of the story for us, because that first point on Hanamura is just, it's tank heavy.
Oh, yeah. Flat ground. Yeah, there's some high ground, but some of it is not really noteworthy. Like, through the first point, that right high ground, there isn't a lot you can do there. Yeah, you can throw a soldier or, you know, some long-range DPS on that building through the choke on the top left. But again, there's only so much you can do until these brawl tank heavy cups run straight onto the point.
So I'm curious to see, though. Speaking of brawl heavy, You talk about long range and long range hit scan. I'm
Yeah.
interested to see because John Dowson played the Widowmaker on Junkertown to great
Yeah.
effect, found a great pickoff that ultimately put so much time off the map that Breaking Amateur was able to, they stabilized themselves for the first defense. They didn't play out towards the rest of it, but I think to Hanamura, do you think you're going to see that Widowmaker some more?
You very well could. It's a good hero to play on the attack. Even if you're facing a tank heavy comp, there's a good chance you could get a kill onto the supports. But if on defense they're running a 2-2-2, then you're feeling great to run that Widow because, there are good sight lines, especially if you're the attacking team, straight through the choke. There's a building right above it. There's a lot of room for you to work with as the Widowmaker. That's why, yeah, I would be happy to see it. I'm kind of expecting to see it.
We are going to get into the map as soon as the teams are ready. So we are very, very close to that third map in this set. We are tied 1-1, of course. It's going to be Breaking Amateur taking map number 1, which was Lijiang Tower. Dabbing Bots coming right back on Junkertown to even the series. And Beatdown, talk to me. Do you think we already saw, as we head into Hanamura, we saw some, I'm going to say an interesting composition on the attack round of Junkertown from Dabbing Bots. They run the Symmetra. Do you think we're going to see, we have seen, I'm going to say this, we have seen that curious comp with the tanks being teleported to point. Do you think we're going to see more creative strategies like that? Or is it sort of a, just keep playing what's kind of expected of you throughout the remainder of the map?
It depends. Personally, like, let's talk about dabbing heroes. It depends on how they want to play it. If they feel good about it this time around, they think, you know what, it didn't work last time, but it could work again. Yeah, I could see them trying it. It's definitely not an unpopular strategy to run here on Hanamura. You don't just teleport the tank straight on the point. So if they weren't too discouraged about how it didn't work out for them on Junkertown, they could very well do it again.
That being said, we are going to see our defensive lineup very shortly beat down. I'm gonna give them a second to fully stabilize and figure out what they want before we talk about what they're running.
Yeah, especially not the offense. Actually, no, defense here are making their way to point. They're looking like they're going for this Hanzo Pharah composition here. No hit scan, but still, should we see a Pharah on the attack, there is some contention possible here on John Dowson.
Yeah, it's gonna be the double projectile spam almost, right? You play Pharah just. I think they're expecting tanks here from their attacking partner. It's gonna remain to be seen because again they don't have that mercy. They're running Lucio Ana here, so the Pharah is gonna be very, very. It's gonna be interesting to see if she could, if John Dowson can actually continue his reign of terror, meant quite literally with the Pharah, of course.
Of course, and that Robin here on the Sombra, with the lower skybox just in general, that Robin definitely has a better opportunity to get the hack off onto John Dowson. So he really does need to be careful here.
Yeah, both teams, I mean, they're playing really passively. John Dowson, he gets nearly caught out, does get back over the wall though, so he'll find himself some safety of the med pack. As it's going to be Dabbing Bots slowly reading their cooldowns. They're going to walk right back in, but how yes, no, they're kind of scattered. And the charge from Blue Slayer just to continue to push them away. They want to try and find some value, but they're caught inside this small area against Projectile. It might not be the best place for them. Blue Slayer, yeah, finds his victory. They're going to go all the way in, commit. The speed amp is there, and Blue Slayer inside a tiny corridor is going to say thank you very much. Find the 4K, gets the Earth Shatter, and they're setting themselves up now for Fight 2 and beyond.
Going to that right room was definitely a good call. Shield yourself from some damage a little bit. But, the rotation from Breaking Amateur was really good, and it forced Dabbing Bots to make their way back upstairs. And, as you were saying, that is detrimental. You don't want to go into small rooms against projectile heroes, because that's how you get torn to shreds like they did. Now, the ult charge is so much more in favor of Breaking Amateur. Dabbing Bots are looking like we're having a pause, actually.
Yeah, it's there's a little pause because perhaps some technical difficulties, there may be some issues. They will get that sorted out as soon as they can. But let's talk a little bit about what we see in terms of our feed. Again, one of the things about Overwatch, and this is something that has been somewhat beleaguered, I think, throughout Overwatch's history, but it remains a fact, is that this game is about ultimates. When you have ultimate advantage, you often win the fight just straight up. So the more ultimates you have, the more likely you are to win. And looking here at Breaking Amateur, they seem to have the advantage.
I gotta agree with you. And on top of that, if they've been so good at cycling their ultimates thus far, so it is expected that they'll be able to do it again as long as they don't overcommit. They're looking all right here on this defense. If you look at the time, if you see the time, it's 2:31 at the moment, and not a bad defense. 90 seconds, and Breaking Amateur are pretty comfortable. They're waiting for the next attack, and they have 3 ults in the bank. So there's definitely some potential here for a point A hold, although I'm probably cursing it right now because that is very difficult.
I mean, that said, it's going to have to be up to Diamondbots here. They're going to have to read the fact they have the ultimate disadvantage and try and just win this one out, or force ultimates out on this fight so they can reset and get a good team fight. And that being said, we are going to be getting right back into the technical difficulties resolved. So that is going to now be defense as Blue Slayer are playing very aggressively here. How Yes No is very close to that grab. The Earth Shadow gets completely blocked. The Dragon Strike is only going to find one. The boot comes in. Golden getting assisted here. Excellent Diva play there from Never Give Up to give Golden the double kill, and that's going to be the remaining cleanup. The Nano Boost was committed from Tired Eyes, and unfortunately no value there, but they do get 2 ultimates out from the defense.
I was sweating a little bit for Breaking Amateur here. Blue Slayer did not get anything with the Earth Shatter, but as you said, Golden with a good dragon and an even better boot from Never Give Up to ensure they stay within its grasp, get the kills that they need to close out. 145. The clock is still ticking down here. LaFon, How Yes No has his grab, and he's probably looking to make use of it now.
That being said, there isn't a whole lot in common with it. The Earth Shatter's there, but the block is not. The Bionade comes right back in. Blue Slayer doing a great job of cleaving. And the Reinhardt v Reinhardt battle won by the Ana of all things, as the Nano Boost from Tariel was committed as well. Great job there. I mean, the shield bash is the wrong person. I think it was Never Give Up who ate the shield bash, so Blue Slayer was able to keep the shield up. And then that's just a brilliant Bionade from Tariel to just help the Ryan clean through. And now it's going to be a compositional switch up. That Robin does have EMP, and that's this fight is going to depend on. Sound Barrier committed, as is the EMP to clean up. The Graviton Surge is going to find 2. They're going to take the kills through. Never Give Up gets taken away as Count taken down. And slowly the defense is crumbling, but it took a lot of investment there from the offense. The only thing you're going to have coming to second point is that Earth Shatter as the defense slowly resets for second point.
And unfortunately, Golden looked like he had his Dragon Strike canceled, actually. It didn't seem to have gone. It didn't seem to go off. And now, because of that, that's even one less ult that Breaking Amateur has right now. They have the Earth Shatter still. They have the Rocket Barrage. John Dowson is going to stick onto this Pharah, probably until he gets the ult out of the way, because it is a difficult area to run Pharah on. So it really all just depends here. If you're doubting bots, you're looking at Humblebee. He needs to block the Shatter and land his own.
Doubting bots, Blue Slayer going to hit that Earth Shatter. The Bionades right after it. The cleanup comes all the way through. How Yes No getting demeched, and they're going to try and just take him out right now. No stagger available. Tired Eyes does get out with their life, most likely. 65 HP. Yeah, does get a reset there. That's just a great combination there. Blue Slayer walks all the way in. The Shatter's available. Does so, and then Tariel just come on. Dude, that Bionade is so powerful, and they do a great job of hitting it every.
Yeah, the angles he's taking are so important, and the fact that, Blue Slayer kept his composure even though his team got shattered is so great for them. John Dowson here is going to get hacked, unfortunately, but not focused down.
Speaking of focus down, though, Humblebee taken away. They're going to find the DMEC yet again, and that's going to be another reset. With your tank line down, no availability, and that's just a very, very non-committal from the attackers, as Davingbot's just going to have to reset here. Golden with an exit kick. Meaningless in the sense that the fight is already over, but does charge himself up to that Dragon Strike. Going to be another pause here. We're having a little bit more technical difficulties, but
just a little.
Sometimes it just happens. It just it's part of the nature of these things. That's what the pause button is for, and we're gonna get back into the match as soon as ITV is available. And I mean, it's unfortunate, but what can you do? I think he had Sound Barrier as well, so they do lose that ultimate in this next fight.
That's true.
It's gonna hurt them, but it is what it is. Again, I want to talk a little bit about we talked about ultimate economy. We talked about sort of the position. We talked about advantage. One thing here that's happening with Dav and Butso is that they're playing this attack round very, very I don't say shoddily, but they're almost walking in one by one. They're not really giving themselves an opportunity to attack. So I think, what is your expectations here from the tank line as Davenbots gets set to try and take the second point?
Well, I'm kind of expecting them to, in general, maybe pick a different route. They seem to be having a lot of trouble with this top right area. And because Breaking Amateur have stuck themselves up there for so long, we're down to 3 minutes now from what was, I believe, 5. There's Dabbing Bots have this opportunity to just run through main straight onto the point and force Breaking Amateur to come right onto them. That is probably the opportunity that they want, and it'll probably give them a better opportunity to deal with the rocket barrage. As you know, in this wide open area, it's easier to keep track of this Pharah, where in a tight corridor, you don't know if she's around the corner ready to smash Q.
We talked a bit about this after Junkertown, but one thing we sort of called out is that Hanamura A is very tank heavy. Hanamura B, though, a bit of a different story. There's a lot of high ground. There's a lot of rotations that are available. Are you surprised that they're playing? I think the best way of putting this is they're playing either too few static tanks or not enough dive tanks. You know what I mean? You either go all in on the tank comp, or you sort of switch up your thought process. Do you expect them to continue running sort of the Rhine Diva for both sides, realistically?
Defense, maybe you can keep it. Defensively running the Diva can be very strong because of all the things that she can do. But on the offense, I don't know. My trust in comps like Ryan Diva are pretty metered, especially on offense. There's a lot. What you want on offense is more punching power, especially with how strong Ryan Zarya is right now. That's kind of what you should be looking towards if you're going to play this Deathfall. Now we're going to see Dabbing Bots actually make this swap here to just the OG Ghost composition here. Moira, Lucio, Brig, and they're taking my advice, running straight into main.
And Barrage is actually going to find one. They're going to have to contend with just losing this fight straight out, but they do get 3 ultimates away. So that is going to have to be good enough. I commit on the Coalescence. A bit strange from Paradise, but it will not be really a big deal, I think, in the grand scheme of things. That is, as far as the offense is concerned, that's possibly your best case scenario in a push like that.
Without a doubt. And now, because Breaking Amateur used so much in that fight, this is their chance to really build something in favor of themselves. Still, Humblebee, pay attention to Blue Slayer. He has the Earth Shatter. You should know that. You need to block it. And he's looking for a shatter from the back. I don't think he even knows.
He does it. He finds one. The Bionade is there yet again. Tyrael. They're going to commit this Diva Bomb, but the fight is already over. Blue Slayer just comes off the top rope and finds a double kill Golden with the cleanup. That being said, the remaining ultimates from the defense were taken away. So this is the opportunity for the offense beatdown, I think, just to be able to brawl this one out in the next fight.
It is, but you still got to be careful, because look at John Dowson. He's got 72% on the way to yet another rocket barrage. So that could come on 82%. Like, he's about to get that online right now in the time Dabbing Bots take to actually get to the point. So that's another ult they have to deal with here. Now they're armoring up. How Yes No has the bomb. This needs to be huge, because there's only 1 minute left.
That being said, the self-destruct coming in, the barrage is there, as is the Dragon Strike. They're going to trade out 2 for 2. As How Yes No unable to really get the clean through, and Golden with the pick off there. This is going to be another stymied attack, and ITV is going to have to reset now. How Yes No, the last one left alive. If he can escape with his mech, it will be an absolute blessing, but they are now in very dangerous territory. Less than a minute left, and only now are they coming up on their tank ultimates.
Yeah, that's the thing when you swap with under 2 minutes left. It's so difficult to bring up those really powerful fight-winning ultimates. So now that Robin's still only at 60%. Humblebee finally has an Earth Shatter of his own. He needs to land it. Blue Slayer cannot be allowed to block it. You have Curryman here on the Brig. I can see him looking for that Stun Shatter right now.
Speaking of Stun Shatter, the Shatter comes in. It finds 3, and the kills are there. Blue Slayer is going to clean all the way up, and that's going to be the end of Hanamura. This is going to be, there's no way for them to even contest this. It's going to be nearly a team wipe. Tired Eyes and the only one left. Getting to point, no healing available. Never give up, indeed. They're going to have to be content with 1 point alone. And now breaking, I mean,
That's tough.
they're going to have to, they have a really easy opportunity to take this one back, Breaking Amateur.
Yeah, for sure. To put themselves back in the lead, all they got to do is cap point A, which is, not an uncommon thing here on assault maps. Get that first tick on to point B. That is it. Unless dabbing bots pull out just as stellar, if not more, of a defense, there is a good chance that Breaking Amateur could take this. I think a lot of the struggle here into that last fight. Well, part of it was actually a little bit of a unfortunate circumstance. Blue Slayer gets kind of booped up here by IT Vidian, and because of that, the Earth Shatter didn't actually land on him, though it got people in the background. That's why Blue Slayer was allowed to finish off the Shatter. And, as we've been seeing so far in this series, from the Battle of Two Shatters, the later Shatter does win.
Not only does the later Shatter win, but the one that hits more characters seems to and gets more follow through tends to be the one that finds the victor as well. So, not surprising at all. But we're gonna take a quick look at that lovely dragon emblem as Hanamura. Man, Hanamura is such a beautiful map here, Beatdown. Honestly, aesthetically, it's one of my favorite maps in the game.
I honestly cannot even blame you. I just despise every time I have to play it in ranked. But if I could queue into a ranked game and just look at it, sign me up.
I mean, hey, would you like to play the game, but instead of playing, you just look?
Yes,
sure. Alrighty. That being said, never give up. Okay. Are we actually gonna see this?
I think we are. Nope, he's still in spawn.
They're just scouting. John Dowson's just scouting with the Sombre initially. They see what they've got. They're gonna try and switch all around. There it is. Okay, so they were just looking for the information. Great use of the Sombre, the translocator, just to come back in and immediately tell the team what they're gonna switch to. Creative use of that gameplay, and they're gonna walk in now. They see it's a tank comp. They see they're gonna go match for match, as they have no hit scan. So they're gonna use the fire. It's an excellent setup now. As they're gonna slowly walk it through the choke, never give up, trying to find that thing. But again, another brilliant Bionade. And this is going to be some of their time is going to be slowed down now. As Blue Slayer walking to point, both teams trying to see which is going to pressure first as that Robin gets the hack off perhaps? No, I think he didn't get caught until the last second. And now defense loses that mech first. This could be the opportunity now for the offense to walk in.
Yeah, it's very most likely. They got the D.Va out of the mech. That is a really important win condition. However, that Robin getting the main tank Blue Slayer is going to be helpful here. The Nano onto Humblebee is also crucial. Yeah,
Nano is going to be coming in. John Dowson picks up one. The Earth Shatter's already committed. They're going to find three on the ground. Is the follow through there. It's going to get the charge in. Never give up. Taken away. And they're going to hold for now. Excellent rotation there. Dude, there is so much here the supports have been doing so right that it would take a lot of time to explain. But at first fight Nano from both sides, one gets on the Rhine first. The Earthshatter comes in, long distance, finds three, and beat down. Defense, though, they had to commit. They had to commit to that. Now they don't really have a whole lot of ultimates coming in now.
And that's going to be probably a bit of an issue here. Luckily for Breaking Amateur, they managed to stack a few ults into their favor. John Dowson probably looking for the Rocket Barrage that he's found so much success on in this map so far. Not to mention Golden has the Dragon Strike, never give up, getting close to the combo here, but none of that matters. We're going to see the Shatter.
The Shatter comes in, the Dragon Strike is going to be used before the EMP is fully activated, and that means that it's going to be committed. They're going to find 3 kills off of it, swinging away on point. Blue Slayer just to get the remainder of the cleanup. Lucio, sitting in the top corner, sitting off the top rope, trying to find his way through the stall. Going to be taken out at the last, but that's going to be point A. They do find themselves with about the same amount of time defensively, though, coming into this next one. So both teams about even on that first point, but coming into this next one, there's a couple of ultimates available to the offense.
Yeah, but just all the same, there's a few ultimates available on the defense as well. But the thing that really matters here is they need to dodge this grab because they don't have a support ult that can deal with the Rocket Barrage grab combination here. Unless How Yes No can eat it, or they can just avoid it altogether. This next fight is going to be a little tough here for dabbing bots.
Slowly up the high ground. They're going to set the flank, though. John Dowson coming in with the barrage over the side. He's going to go right for the kills. The Matrix not in time to keep Curryman alive, but Tariel gets taken out at the last. They're going to commit the sound barrier as well. Remember, only 1/3 required, so they're going to commit to this fight. Our Breaking Amateur self-destruct going to be committed on point. No stun available to knock down that shield, so it's going to keep them alive. This is going to be a reset now for the defense, though, as they're slowly losing numbers. And they dump a bunch of ultimates in, but they're just not going to find value. Blue Slayer finding the DMAC on How Yes No, but it's just the Ryan versus the world, and therefore, I think the world wins this time around.
Yeah, better luck next time, Blue Slayer. But now, Breaking Amateur are still in an okay position here. They have some strong tank ultimates. We're gonna see Golden swap off the Hanzo actually. Wants to play this Genji, maybe for some backline pressure, but he has that Robin on the Sombra to worry about. So trying to figure out what the idea behind that is. But speaking of that, Robin has the EMP online, could definitely shut down this next fight. 4 minutes left, and dabbing bots might buy themselves just a little bit more time.
EMP and Rally available for the defense. Two massive ultimates coming through. But on the offense, if they can get their real attack in, it's going to be pressure coming in. Tyrael goes down right away. The Bionade, not enough to keep everyone up. And Never Give Up, though, is kind of slowly starting to turn this one right back around. Tyrael is going away. And though John Dowsett is taken out, remember, only 1/3 available. That DMAC, if it comes in, could be massive. The bubble blocks the Earthshatter. Humble be taken out. EMP committed, but the Valkyrie is already there. If they can get a couple of cleanup kills to turn this one back in, the spawns slowly starting to favor the defense. They're going to commit the Graviton Surge. Is the follow-up there? They do nano boost the Brigitte. She uses that rally, so there is going to have to be a soft reset now from the offense. They're getting so close, man, but just not close enough. Assault, we know how strong those spawns are. And it's just an absolute disaster now in terms of ult economy. Attack, they just don't have the follow-through on those tank ultimates.
No, none at all. You know, using them in questionable situations, I'd even wager. You know, fights you can't really seem to win. Yeah, I know tank ults can turn the tides, but you want to use them so that you have the maximum chance of success. But now Golden has built up to this Dragon Blade. John Dowsett has the Rocket Barrage. Probably going to look for a nano combo of either one here. And that's probably going to be the win condition for Breaking Amateur. Still 2.5 minutes left. Still a lot of time here.
Slowly posturing away, the Rhines trying to find each other. It's a great bubble to prevent the damage from coming in on that charge. As the Fire Strikes dueling with each other. Golden looking for that Dragon Blade opportunity. John Dowsett, though, so very weak. The Earthshatter comes in, but it might be too late. They're going to get the Resurrect off. Count being taken away before he can get it fully completed, but now it's just the Lucio to contest the point. No one else available. Sound Barrier keeping them up alive just for the moment, trying to get those respawns right back in. That Robin trying to build up to that EMP. They want to bring this one back as quickly as possible. Dragon Blade committed, finds the Diva. This EMP right back in. No dash is available, but Golden doing all that he can. It's the Sal's tanks are still kept up. Golden 1 HP on the point. The Bionade comes in right back around. Curryman taken away, and that will be it. They are going to take point B, that first take available. Breaking Amateur, give themselves the lead yet again. Hanamura going to them. 2-1 is our series, and we are not going anywhere.
Not yet, and we are at match point at this point. This is a best of 5. So, you know, Breaking Amateur putting themselves in a really good position here to win the series outright. Going to see a great play of the game here from Blue Slayer. Man, this guy on the Rhine.
That is a very... If you're the other Rhyme, though, that is so unfortunate. You have all the time in the world to block that one, and just can't get the shield up in time. In the Zarya, you see her just standing up. I thought I blocked it. I thought I blocked it. Didn't block it. Everyone behind him falls down, and it's going to be the cleanup there. So, dabbing bots, a tough second point for them for sure, but Breaking Amateur, they rotate through just a huge time bank and ultimate economy and finally just force out the win. That's the case of a brute force attempt, and it just works out because they have, just a better ult economy.
And that's the beauty of having time on your side here. In Overwatch in general, it's so important. And the fact that they had the time to keep trying again, keep cycling and keep trying this, keep trying that. It ended up working out for them. And in that last fight, really, it was just a matter of, the time kind of wearing on dabbing bots. Because so far they were doing very well to shut down all the attacks here from Breaking Amateur. But, over time, it's so hard to keep that level of finesse, I want to say.
It is, of course, a very difficult thing to keep that pressure, keep the calm under pressure. And I think the one thing there is that the point control was kind of working. The fact that dabbing bots were unable to get even that 1/3 on that second point really kind of worked against them in that last fight, because with only a third left, you can throw bad ultimates after a good fight, right? Good ultimates after a bad fight, because you don't actually have to capture the whole point. You need that first third, and no matter how you get there, it's a lot of pressure. You have to realize that you have to keep contesting that point, and if you get off for a moment and you give that first stick away, you just straight up lose. So I think dabbing bots, even though they ended up losing that match, there is still it's still not nearly as bad as it perhaps may have looked, because they made it tough for Breaking Amateur to cut through that defense.
They did. probably was down to like 1 minute from about 5. So it was definitely a very good defense overall. And yeah, like every map that either one of these teams win, the other has made them work for it. So that's why this is such a neck and neck series right now. That's why we're at 2-1, and who knows, like Dabbing Bots could still very well be in this.
That being said, we are headed to our fourth match point, as you mentioned, for Breaking Amateur. This is a best of 5, and it is going to be everyone's. You know what? I'm gonna give you a guess. It's everyone's favorite scrim map, Kings Row.
I would have never known.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what gave it away. Not sure. Not really.
I'm still
puzzled about it. That being said, okay. So we talked about tank comps on
Yeah.
Hanamura, and whatever goes for Hanamura probably goes twice for Kings Row. Kings Row is one of those strange maps where even though it does have high ground, tanks still thrive on this map like massively. It's such a good map for Reinhardt, just because you can play those chokes, you can play that low ground, and still find value.
Yeah, honestly, there's so much more value in the low ground, and whatever high ground there is so easily accessible compared to other maps. I think that's a key factor here. And honestly, yeah, back in the days when dive was truly like the meta, you'd still in pro games, in ranked games, Kings Row, Ryan Zarya, like without fail.
Yeah, it's a very one of the strange things about Kings Row. Or I don't want to say strange. One of the nice things about Kings is how much works on this map, right?
Yeah.
You see dive, you see
Oh,
tanks, you see Pharah, you see Junkrat, Widowmaker, you see goats, you see Genji, Sombra. There's so much. I think you just have to look. I mean, not that long ago, we were seeing in games today, in games throughout this tournament, throughout the World Cup, throughout contenders, every single. I mean, Overwatch League last season, even when dive was at its height, people would still run Rein Zarya. So the fact that we get to see that kind of variety on this map is expected. I'm curious to see if these teams are going to go full tank composition. So, quad tank 3-3. Slightly more out of the 3-2-1 actually is another one that can be used. Where you run the Sombra and you still run 3 tanks and 2 supports. So I'm curious to see what they're going to bring to the table for us. And I think aside from Junkertown, which is sort of a strange map, these teams have kind of stuck to what they're comfortable running. And whether that be because again, it takes a lot of synergy to be able to run different comps at a higher level. And these teams, so sometimes you just have to play what you're comfortable with because you're better at that than you would be to the more, quote unquote correct comps, if you will. So I'm not surprised to see these teams continue to run what they've been running so far. I just wonder if they're going to be a little bit more flexible throughout the remaining, perhaps map or maps, depending on how far we go. Would you expect to see flexibility from the teams, or you kind of expect to continue to see, the standard Rein Diva, Rein Zarya with some number of DPS heroes?
I mean, I think things are just gonna play in line with most of what we've been seeing here. I think the most we're gonna see it out of dive tanks is gonna be Diva because we've been seeing a lot of Rein Diva so far in this match. I don't think teams are gonna swap with swap to one what is not comfortable for them, and two, there's no reason for them to change it for this map because, like we were saying before, it's just one of those maps that is great for Reinhardt. And both teams have found quite a bit of success playing these deathball comps with the Reinhardt. So, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that is our pregame.
Yeah.
A little bit longer the other 2 maps, but we are going to get to Kings Row right away, as Athena so kindly informs us.
Yeah.
And we are going to the Omnic. Fun fact about Kings Row, we're actually, if you're the attacking team, you're actually delivering an EMP to just shut down the Omnics. It's pretty terrifying. Basically bombing an Omnic factory, I think, is what it is.
I mean, damn, when you put it like that.
It's a little lore for you. The front half of the map, kind of nice. There's like a statue of an Omnic. The back half of the map, not so nice towards the Omnic type, whether you see them as robots or not.
Yeah, that is fair. It's really interesting parts of Overwatch that I wish Blizzard would expand on. But no, we're just here speculating, talking, giving our thoughts.
Yeah, a little lore fact.
I
think my favorite one is that Athena is the announcer, and we're gonna hopefully hear more about her later on in Overwatch's lifespan. But we're gonna get into the game now. Speaking of a game, how surprised are you to see Ryan Zarya? Man, I could not.
I
I
for one,
couldn't.
I'm shocked.
Absolutely unpredictable here from the team in the defense. It's gonna be Break and Amateur running out the Farah and Hanzo as well. So they're looking for that again, that double projectile spam, something they ran on Hanamura. Again, I guess they're expecting the lack of hit scan pressure, but it is going to be interesting to see what they actually accomplish with. Now on the offense, it's gonna be everyone's favorite, the good old-fashioned GOAT, as they run that 3-3 composition, the Ryan, Diva, Zarya, Brig, and Moira Lucio. So looking to see what they've got. Again, this Farah unable to really be contested by this composition here, Beatdown, as they slowly walk in, but Blue Slayer's found out the corner. The bubble's not going to be doing nearly enough, actually does. The boot comes right back in. That could have been an opportunity for them to get the cleanup. Humblebee, though, gonna find that first kill, but Golden with that body shot, with the damage amp, is gonna be enough to take down that Reinhardt, that front line. Slowly falling apart for the offense as another brilliant Bionade comes in, and on top of that, they bring the Resurrect out. So count. They even them up to 6v6, and this is going to be a hold now for the defense. And I think for How Yes No Beatdown, they've got to be a little bit better about eating those Bionades.
For sure, especially if you're gonna be running this Diva, and against an Ana, it's so important because that, your comp's gonna live or die off the healing you have, especially if you're running it with the Moira. You're not looking for any extra utility, just sustain. And that sustain is torn apart when you get hit with a nade.
Speaking of sustain, it's not gonna be enough. It goes down, the barrage is in, but however, the Dragon Strike committed as well. They get the Resurrect up in plain sight. Count, giving up the life for that Resurrect. Never give up, trying to find some more value. They commit a bunch of ultimates. The Nano Boost is there as well, but the rally coming right back in. Never give up. Fighting versus the world as the Brig coming in to try and do as much damage as possible. Shield Bash could be enough. Kramen taking down Never Give Up. With Tyrael falling, its offense spawns out a little bit better, and they're going to get the cleanup for that first point capture. So the defense commit 4 ultimates there and find no value beyond a couple moments stall. And now the offense gets started rolling through Streets phase of Kings Row. Point number 1 unlocked, as again the defense set up for perhaps a better showing.
The pain of trading with the attacking team here on any point A is the fact that they're just going to show up back with you. You got to get kills. You got to come out positive when you're making trades like that. Good rocket barrage from John Dowson. Even the Dragon Strike wasn't good, but so many kills still came out from the side of dabbing bots. And the fact that they built so much ult charge as well.
That Graviton Surge is going to come through. It's going to capture 3. The kills are there. Blue Slayer not going to find a pin as Golden does go down. Count taken right out back. There's no availability for Resurrect. And they're going to take that fight very handily, swinging away. The Graviton Surge more than enough for that cleanup. And even though there's a sleep dart, Tyrael, oh, goodbye, buddy. That's going to be a charge pin. And now the point continues to move forward, and even better for our offensive side of dabbing bots, they only have to use the Graviton Surge.
Yeah, and on top of that, now they have so many ultimates still built up, and those staggers got them so much free progress going forward right now. So, Breaking Amateur are coming back into this next fight. They do have some combos here. They have the grab, they can trade out with the Rocket Barrage or the Dragon. It really just depends on how they want to play this. They still have a good shot here.
Self-destruct gonna be committed right in the back. Sound barrier right back after John Dowson. No value with that barrage. The Resurrect, though, is there, and with no self-support ultimate to keep them up through the Dragon Strike, it should be enough to turn this right back in. But yet again, a lot of ultimates committed. Not much, like, they just hold on, but barely.
Yep, 2.46 meters, cock about cutting it close, but Dabbing Bots still managed, Breaking Amateurs still managed to hold it out here. They're still looking good. They have the Nano, they have the Shatter. These are definitely some ults you can use to get yet another hold, especially with how much they got out of Dabbing Bots last round. Still, Humblebee has a Shatter, and he's looking to make some impact. Oh, speaking of impact.
Humblebee just walked right into that one. You know, like, that fight's gonna be basically over. You know when you walk into a door that you don't actually see is there?
Yeah.
That is exactly what that Earth Shatter was.
Just was in no way, shape, or form prepared. But luckily, on the bright side, quick fight means less time wasted. Now, Humblebee, like I was saying before, has a Shatter. Looking for some value. Maybe it's his turn to get a big Shatter.
The barrage is there over the top. It's going to find Tired Eyes, and that Shatter is big enough, but The Nano Boost is going to be committed, so this fire is going to be a danger into this next fight. Finding those direct. Don Dowson, a terror in the sky, finds another kill. Tariel gets traded out, though. They can still bring this one back in the defense, but they're making it harder on themselves. Never give up. Finds one. John Dowson going down. The Resurrect right back in. Finds the kill. But Count giving up his life for it. Slowly, these tanks are trying to bring this one back. Tired Eyes comes back in time, but it's not enough. The heals are not there. How Yes No versus that Robin. They need to get Never Give Up here. The Graviton Surge is going to be committed. Is the kills there? The Dragon Strike is eaten. No combination available. Golden a little too far forward. The Matrix in his face. That will be point number 2 captured here for our offensive side. Dabbing bots, they bring themselves back, and Break It Amateur use a lot in that last fight, and yet again find no value from it.
And Dabbing bots now have once again flipped the ult economy in their favor. They have a lot going for them here. It's all about whether or not Blue Slayer can land this shatter, and he does!
That shoulder charge is going to be enough to bring the kills in with that self-destruct. Coalesce is going to be committed as well. Count gets another Resurrect off in the front line, but it's only going to serve to feed ult charge. Blue Slayer does get the pin off, but it's not going to be enough. The Diva's the one that gets pinned, doesn't even get the charge contact, and even so, doesn't get any ult charge as a result. So that Resurrect, a little unfortunate for the defense to give themselves an opportunity here, beat down. Going into this last fight, though, this card has moved forward so far.
Golden luckily has a good DPS ult here, as well as John Dowson. Both are able to shut this down right now, but it's all about the placement, and John Dowson going down is really bad though.
How Yes No falls off the map. That's going to be a reset there as Blue Slayer walks in with the Nano Boost. That's a dangerous place to be. I mean, the Reinhardt.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to see how much Reinhardts have been nano boosted as of late, right? I remember when Ana was first nerfed, they removed her speed boost from her nano boost, and that meant that Reinhardt was no longer a viable target. But with the changes to nano boost, you're finding a little bit more often now.
Yeah, because the healing is so strong in terms of that, and Blue Slayer actually getting a good pin here is going to get the Earth Shatter, but still has to watch out for Humblebee.
Gets only that Robin, but Humblebee finds the kill on Humblebee, so they're going to walk forward, and Coalesce will be committed yet again. This offensive push, they're trying to continue to get some offensive opportunity, but there were no kills, so it ends up being a Coalescence that's kind of wasted. They do stabilize for the moment. They do have, tank ultimates coming online as well, so there is an opportunity here, but John Dowson in the corner has that barrage. They have the grab from Never Give Up, so combos available now for the defense. There's the huge Graviton Surge. Dragon Strike is in there, as is the barrage.
I'm not really sure what the stacking of DPS ults was going to do for them here, but, I mean, 45 seconds left. I guess you really want to guarantee that fight, and, Breaking Amateur still in a pretty good spot here. They're about to come online with the Sound Barrier, the Nano Boost. They have the Earth Shatter, but if they want to keep this hold going with 30 seconds, Shatter's got to be blocked. That's the win condition here for both sides.
Humblebee walks in aggressively at 10 HP, finds the death, and that's actually just going to be the Sound Barrier committed from the defense. 20 seconds remain. Graviton Surge is there, but the Earth Shatter means that there's no damage follow-up. John Dowson able to just find whatever final blows he wants. The Nano Boost is going to be committed on the far yet again. Humblebee gets a huge shatter. Doesn't get much more than one kill, though. And with 5 seconds remaining, the defense has pretty much set themselves up for their next their offensive round. As that Robin picks up 1 kill, and they're slowly staggering this one out. It's just Blue Slayer and John Dowson versus the part. And How Yes No, though he does get up 1. Respawns are likely going to favor the defense. Slowly they're bringing this one back, actually.
I do not know about that pin there from Blue Slayer. Kind of wanted to maybe end this thing once and for all, but as a result got himself ended instead.
How Yes No going down, though, is going to be pretty disastrous as they're losing some of that DPS potential. Overtime available, Graviton Surge on card, there it is. The combination they've been looking for. The barrage comes in over the top. Team kill from Athena indeed, and round 1 is going to be completed. They do get a little bit more progress, though. So Break and Amateur give up a little bit more space than they thought they would have, but they set themselves up for their attack round with a pretty decent opportunity. The payload not yet at that final checkpoint. So 2 3/4 of the way through the map is how much the victory condition is for Break and Amateur to give themselves the victory Again, we are at match point. Breaking Amateur leading the series 2-1, so Kings Row for them. This attack round is going to be very, very important. They do not want to let Dabbing Bots back in the series.
No, that map 5 could really go anybody's way. So if you're Breaking Amateur, you just want to settle this once and for all. But still, good play so far from both teams. Although, you know, Dabbing Bots really seemed like they were going for a miracle run there at the end. The damage combo of the grab and the rocket barrage was just having none of it. And now, like you said, there isn't going to be an overtime round. It's all about whether Breaking Amateur can finish or not. And that's going to be the decider here on this map.
Well, Breaking Amateur, they've given themselves an opportunity. It's not, again, you don't want to give that second attack round. Yeah, obviously, the full hold is the best, but barring that, you don't want to let the full map capture go through. And now, this defensive look, you know what it is. We've all heard it. We've all been very familiar with what this composition is. It's going to be Goats yet again, as they're going to run that Moira look. So I have to say, How Yes No has to be a lot better with those with that defensive matrix in terms of eating those bionates. Setting up in Hotel though, that looks like an early. They see the scout out with the early Sonic, as John Dow's going to switch. So they find them in Hotel. They know they're there, and they're just waiting for that rotation. Blue Slayer takes a ton of poke, but there comes the Goats. They're going to engage really aggressively. Can they find that first blow? Right now, Blue Slayer is the one in a world of hurt, but they're going to keep him up for the moment. And Curryman's actually going to be the one that goes down first. So John Dow's coming over the top. They have no hit scan pressure, of course, to deal with him. So it's really up to the D.Va to sort of shut down this Pharah. And right now, it's not happening. So another final blow for the offense. They're going to set themselves up for a great first point attack as that Robin gets staggered out. And this is such an unfortunate thing for the offense to be in, beat down. This first point is going to the attack right now.
Breaking Amateur doing really well here. Good swaps here for John Dowson especially. Recognize that they had a tank heavy composition once again. No hit scan. And what does that mean for a Pharah? It's free real estate. Already has the rocket barrage. There's already a nano blade potential possibility here for Breaking Amateur. They're in a good spot right now. Humble Slayer on the other side does have the Earth Shatter, but still, again, it could be blocked.
Humblebee versus Blue Slayer, Battle of the Rhine. It's going to bring the, actually, How Yes No going to switch over to the Wrecking Ball. There's the Earth Shatter comes in. John Dowson over the top, though. The barrage is there for 2. Can they find the 3? They do. Golden coming in to coalesce. It's not enough. They get the Resurrect off as well, so this fight basically going right back in offensive favor. As How Yes No and Tired Eyes, the only 2 left alive. And they're actually slowly starting to get away. Tired Eyes, Moira finding the escape at the last, but again, that's a fight that is just cleanly won. John Dowson, another great barrage, and they put themselves forward.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes, already making their way through street space with literally no problem. How Yes No decides this Wrecking Ball is not the greatest idea. Gotta agree with you there, buddy. Back to this just regular Ghost comp. They love to run the OG Ghost here. They have the armor, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, that is a huge bionate on top of the Shatter after the grab. The grab is unnecessary, but it's, you know, it provides fireworks.
The colors look pretty.
They do look very pretty, I have to agree. I play a lot of Zarya. I have to say the Graviton Surge is one of the coolest looking ultimates in the game.
Yep.
And just, you know. But the thing is, they're all knocked down on the ground, and so the kills are all there. The Dragon Blade was committed as well. The only thing is, they used everything for that fight. The only thing they have left is the Valkyrie. A bit of an overcommittal, and that actually could let Dabbing Bots back in this fight.
Very possible that Robin here has almost has the Graviton Surge here, but the fight's still proceeding.
You know what? You know who needs ultimates? You get that Bionage, you get those direct kills, the Graviton Surge is there, doesn't capture enough. Is the follow through right back? Again, they do get a couple of kills here. Never give up. They're going to continue with the barrage, the nano boost available as well. John Dowson finds 2. Can he continue this fight more? Never give up. Back in. High charge Zarya trying to find that anti-kill, the kill on the anti-native heroes, and Tired Eyes just trying to escape with only his life. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Never give up the final blow, and with 4:37, and that is a huge time bank to erase. And unfortunately, Humblebee is going to have to find a way to land a massive shatter here, as this is going to be to the wire. Blue Slayer, Earthshatter's inside spawn, and Curryman the only one to contest. The Earthshatter doesn't find much. Golden stays alive. And with that, Curryman needs to stay alive here. There goes the Coalescence kill on Blue Slayer. A little too aggressive in that back line. They're holding on the cart for now, is the Valkyrie unable to keep the Reinhardt alive. They're going to soft reset. That's 4 minutes remaining, and that card is so close to that yellow box of victory.
Well, here's the thing with Breaking Amateur. They have so much time. They can do what they've been doing all along. They set themselves up with big time banks, and, you know, they just take their time. They play their game, and they're in a great position to do that. Because, look, the Grab is back. The Dragon Blade is back. John Dowson's going to have the Rocket Barrage soon.
There goes the Dragon Blade into the Graviton Surge. The Bionade is there as well. And though John Dowson's going to die for his aggression, it doesn't matter. Tired Eye's the only one left there, and not for long. It's going to break an Amateur, taking Hanamura and taking taking Kings and taking our series 3-1. They do take Hanamura too, though, so it ends up working out. Yeah. And Blue Slayer back on the screen, play of the game. This Reinhardt has been aggressive all series long and has actually made it work so very well. Brings the Rein out of that pin, or out of the grab for the pin, and yes. Oh, that is fantastic gameplay all around for breaking Am. And 19 barrage kills, 8 rocket barrages for John Dowson. Breaking Amateur. That was a good series from them.
Yeah, without a doubt. And they just played this game really well. They seem to be a little smarter with their comp swaps. Like, for example, we see John Dowsman on the Pharah. Every time that he knows that he doesn't have a hit scan to really worry about or deal with. And because of that, dabbing bots don't really have an answer. They wouldn't seem to often switch to a hit scan. They would want to stick to their tank heavy compositions, or maybe try to deal with it with the Sombra, which, you know, gave some measured success. But towards the end there, they kind of just got really hard stuck on their tank heavy compositions, you know, the goats, the 3-3. Because of that, that's just free ult charge for Pharah. And that's free rocket barrages for Pharah.
Indeed, and John Dowson made the most of it. And when he wasn't the one popping off, the rest of his team was there to support him. So across the board, though, some excellent gameplay from everyone involved, dabbing bots and breaking amateur. Much shout out to both these teams. We're going to be done here for the day, though. Don't be surprised, though. This tournament isn't over yet. We are going to be back November 23rd and 24th with some more games. GGEU not quite done yet, so there is some more opportunity for some great gameplay. Breaking Amateur does move on. Dabbing bots, they take the loss here today, but 3-1. They got to be proud with some of the gameplay they showed. There was some definite moments for them. So Dabbing bots, nothing too shabby. That being said, it is going to be it from me, LaFon, here as your caster, Beatdown Boulevard, my co-caster, and of course, in the background, always on the production. Shout out to our producer, Aptiana, doing excellent work there. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again.